Hi everyone, this is Menz here, playing the Tier 7 Japanese heavy tank, the Oni, here on Himmelsdorf. Now, just starting before the battle here, I use, the 10 centimeter gun here on the Oni instead of the, essentially the howitzer gun. Now, really the choice between the two, it's really a personal preference. On the Oni, I feel like this gun is, it's adequate for what you're going to face. It does struggle a bit against 9s, but you can penetrate, 7s, 6s, 5s, of course, and tier 8s pretty well. And you even have enough ammunition to carry some HE rounds just in case you run across some tanks that you can't penetrate. Now, same goes with the howitzer. It does have its benefits, and really the main reason I don't go with that is typically against lower tiers, I find this gun's a little bit more reliable. You're not going to get those weird misses, and it's not as hard to lead, like tier 5s and 6s. And, you can get huge shots with the howitzer gun on, lightly armored tanks, or you could miss, and, it's a double-edged sword. But the howitzer does, do a better job when you're facing off, say, against like an E75 or heavily armored tier 8, stuff like that, and you can't really penetrate them very well with this. But I choose to go with this gun. It's like on the OHO, I actually swapped back to the howitzer, but at least for this battle, it pays off for me. This is going to be an ace tanker match. I do a little bit over 3,800 damage, and I block 1,700 damage, just a little bit of assist. I do use quite a few premium AP rounds. You do have to sprinkle a little bit in there. It bumps up your penetration from 190 up to 215, which, it's a modest increase, but having that little boost sometimes is just enough to what you need. Now, let's get things going here. But essentially, this match, I didn't think I was going to win it for a decent part of the match, but, somehow it all works out. And fortunately for me, it ends up being a win, but it comes down to just, a couple tanks on both sides. Now, being in an Oni, you're very large. Your armor's almost all situated on the front and also the rear to some extent, but your sides, Japanese heavies have very weak side armor for whatever reason. It's all in the front and the back. So keeping that in mind is definitely very important, because getting shot in the side, you're a very big target. Now, I'm going to head over to the typical spot where heavies fight, over in the 7-8 line. Mainly because, we don't have a ton of heavy tanks. One of them's going up on the hill. And our Black Prince here, who knows where he's going to head. But at least setting up, I can get hit by Artie, but luckily there's only one Artie. You can set up behind a couple of these little hills, and it actually... Thanks for the subscription, Robert. I'm not streaming right now, but it's kind of funny that this popped up. At least it'll make the video a little bit more unique now. Anyway, it hides your weak spots a little bit here. But starting out here, I'm using the premium just to get in a few hits here. And being slightly angled like this isn't the best, because people can hit you across these two mini turrets pretty easily, or even on this angled section. But fortunately for me, their tanks, they're kind of trying to do the same thing as us. However, they're kind of on the receiving end here, and fortunately my team has myself taking the brunt of the damage here, whereas their KV3, they're kind of a little bit further back and taking less shots. But at this point, really, it's just kind of slugging it out here. Like, either side, we still have pretty good chances to win or lose. And we don't have too many people over here, which is a concern. But unfortunately, I take a couple hits there. One being, as I pointed out, I was a little bit over-angled, and this is very weak if it's angled. But at this point, we start kind of falling behind a little bit. I'm at 1,000 damage. Haven't really blocked much, but really I'm starting to kind of take notice of the tanks over here, and I don't really swap off of premium AP at this point because, once you start falling behind, I play to win. And, while I don't necessarily need premium AP against some tanks, the KV3 is what was scaring me for the most part. And that penetration, don't know where that pinned, but this KV85, fortunately, he pushes up here. I wanted to kill him, but this guy missed. And I take the chance of turning all the way around. Now my turret's exposed, but fortunately I kind of pop a little bit back in there, but the IS still gets me. Now, I was trying to be careful about the KV2, but he just pops up now, and fortunately he doesn't hit me, because that's what I was concerned about. He's trying to hit the Strev 74, and once he starts pushing up, I'm like, shit, it's kind of make it or break it now. I'm still taking some damage, but 1-2 punch, they knock those two guys out, and I'm able to focus on this IS now. But still, this is no small feat. We're down to 4 tanks, and they still have 7. If my math is right. And this guy, he's punching through my front, which that shot honestly looked like a turret shot. I was a little bit angled there, but it's not looking good for us here. Our E25s, he's dealing with Artie, and I'm trying to help this Black Prince out here. He's in a spot to where he can get shot from the hill if this KV moves up, and I'm definitely concerned here, especially considering I only have 215 HP. Even though I have a lot of armor, the armor on this isn't always the easiest to use. Whether people hit the front little turrets, or they just have enough penetration to go through your front, or you angle a little bit and they hit the little cheek sections, or just rounding a corner because your turret is in the center and you have a very far distance to either end of your tank. But once both of these guys are capping, I'm kind of like, shit, I gotta move in here. The Black Prince tried to get in there, and fortunately he did flush that KV2 out a bit, and he kept that IS in a spot to where I could deal with him. This Hellcat, fortunately for me, he's not able to penetrate me, and he's trying to reverse, which is not very smart for him, because the Hellcat does not reverse very quickly, and I'm easily able to catch up to him and kill him there. Now, this is where I'm like, shit, like, if I blow this now, this is going to be, like, a little bit, of a disappointment. This IS, I'm trying to find him. Like, I'm trying to stick with the E25 too, where if I get one-shot or he gets one-shot by either tank, the other one of us can kind of pop in, and take the other one out. I'm chasing after the IS, expecting him to kind of be around here, and he's actually going to run north towards our cap, which, is smart by him because he's trying to link up with the KV2. Unfortunately for them, they're going to hop on to the cap and kind of set off the cap timer. And, kind of being like, my heart's pumping now. I'm like, shit, like, to make it or break it here. E25's, heading up there, so hopefully he doesn't round into the KV2. But once the second one gets on the cap, it makes it a little bit easier for us. The IS seems to miss me. The KV2, for whatever reason, drives further out here, and he also misses me. So I got a little bit lucky there. Granted, the KV2 hitting me, I might have survived it, but pretty good chance I would have died there. And fortunately, our E25 is smart enough to where, he doesn't just round the corner and start plinking away and die before I'm able to get up there and help him. I do bounce an IS shot, which, the armor on this is good, like I keep saying, but it's definitely somewhere where it is a bit of a, love-hate relationship, depending on how you angle, and also someone's using a premium round, and fortunately there he only causes 51 damage. But we end up getting a win. between myself and the E25, and even the Black Prince really helped towards the end too. I did use, as you see, quite a few premium rounds. I'm down to only 5, but I'd rather get the win rather to, like, if I had even bounced just one more shot off of that IS in the beginning or the KV3 early on and mid into the match, probably would have lost. So fortunately that little bit definitely helped out there. Alright, so getting to the end caps here: Ace Tanker, Steel Wall, High Caliber, and also a Defender Award. And like, had I used the howitzer gun here, it still might have been a win. Honestly, looking back at some of the bounces and misses I have, HE from a howitzer would have probably kept up damage-wise there. So honestly, either gun works on the Oni. It's just personal preference. So I did the most amount of damage in the match, of course. E25 wasn't too far behind. Fortunately, we kind of meshed there at the end and kind of worked together very well. And then finally, I shoot 21 times. I hit 17 of them and only penetrate 13. It's somewhere, with the HE howitzer gun, you're shooting a lot less. You theoretically have a lot more DPM, but achieving it is difficult. But, you would have gotten about half. I probably would have gotten about 12 shots off with the HE gun compared to this gun for that match. If not, maybe a couple more. But, 3,600 damage, a little bit over that. I blocked 1,700, and, I reset 100 defense points and also assist with a little bit. But I do lose credits even with a personal reserve bonus. Like I've mentioned, I won't lie, I used a lot of premium rounds this match. It just became one point where I'm like, I need to keep hitting as many shots as I can to win. And I'm going to go with a win. If it means, granted the AP rounds on this only provide 25 more millimeters a pen. It is enough to get you through quite a few armor bits on some tougher tanks that you face around this tier. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please forgive me for the amount of premium spam. If you haven't caught my live stream, feel free to check it out. It's here on YouTube. I live stream a couple times to 4 times a week, depending on the time of the year. But you can find out my main channel page. My schedule's there, and there's also a link to a past live stream at the end of this video here. If you're a subscriber, it does keep you up to date with when I live stream. And the rest of my videos. If you're not a subscriber and you like this video, give me a shot. But anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you around sometime soon. Hopefully you have a good day. Goodbye.